Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I hope everyone is feeling well and welcome back to our design theory class. And this week we are going to cover this topic, which is Bauhaus. Okay, so the Bauhaus School, literally meaning construction house, started in 1919 by Walter Gropius. He's a German-American architect. Okay, I think it's much better if we study about his background. So he was born in May 1883 in Berlin, Germany. And he died in July 5th, 1969 in Boston, Massachusetts, United States. His education, Berlin Institute of Technology and Technische Universität München. Among the awards granted are the Royal Gold Medal, AIA Gold Medal, and Goethe Prize. Okay, founded with the idea of creating a total work of art, bringing together all arts and architecture. Okay, so there are three Bauhaus centers. The first one is in Weimar, 1919 to 1925. And after that in Dessau in 1925 to 1933. And after that in Berlin in 1932 to 1933. So we are going to look all of these three Bauhaus center. Right. So the first one, this is the Bauhaus in Weimar. Okay. So art, according to his manifesto and the program, should serve a social role, and there should no longer be a division of craft-based disciplines. Okay, at Weimar, the stage workshop was an important part of the education. It was directed by Lothar Streyer from 1921 to 1923, and then by Oskar Schlemmer from 1923 to 1925. It brought together visual and performing arts and stressed an interdisciplinary approach. So this is Bauhaus in Weimar. Okay, now let's move to Bauhaus in Dessau. Okay, this is the Bauhaus in Dessau. Okay, Dessau was considered the hotspot in the heyday of Bauhaus. It arose after the politically motivated close of Weimar. During this time, it set forth on the path of designing new industrial products for mass consumption. Okay, or most of the products and designs are well known today came from Dessau. It was also here that the famous Bauhaus building was planned and built by Gropius. Okay, this iteration of Bauhaus was dissolved on September 13, 1932. Okay, let's move to another one, which is the Bauhaus in Berlin. Bauhaus in Berlin. Okay, so Berlin was the last phase of Bauhaus. Due to mounting pressures from the Nazis and cutbacks in funding, there was limited work done during this time. The move to Berlin happened after the closure of Dessau, and Bauhaus masters and students reconvened in October 1932 out of an abandoned telephone factory. By April 11, 1933, however, the premises were searched and closed by the police. Okay, so the other important architect directors other than Walter Gropius are Hannes Meyer and Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. Okay, ini ialah Hannes Meyer lah. Was born in November 1889 to July 19, 1954, was a Swiss architect and second director of the Bauhaus Dessau, from 1928 to 1930. Okay, so Mayer brought the two most significant building commissions for the school, both of which still exist. 5 apartment buildings in the city of Dessau, known as Lobenganghäuser, okay, ataupun houses with balcony access. The apartments are considered to be real Bauhaus buildings because they originated with the Bauhaus department of architecture. Okay, this is one of the notable architect lah selain daripada Walter Gropius. Okay, another one is Mies van der Rohe lah. So born March 27, 1886 to August 17, 1969, is the German architect, German-American architect, sorry. So along with Alvar Aalto, Le Corbusier, Walter Gropius, and Frank Lloyd Wright, he is regarded as one of the pioneers of modernist architecture. Okay, Mies sought to establish his own particular architectural style that could represent modern times just as classical and Gothic. The style he created made a statement with its extreme clarity and simplicity. His mature buildings made use of modern materials such as industrial steel and plate glass to define interior spaces. Okay, so inilah dia Mies van der Rohe. Alright, so the key ideas for Bauhaus here, exploring design in new direction, cutting down on unnecessary ornamentation, design is form and function, harmony of craftsmanship and mass production, making design a part of the entire production process, keeping it minimal was the whole point. No excessive use of resources could be afforded. Okay, bringing gap between art and industry by combining craft and fine art. Okay, art shouldn't be valued for just aesthetics. Okay, Bauhaus made design democratic. Okay, so these are the key ideas for Bauhaus. Okay, now let's move to the materials used. Okay, tubular steel was the star of the Bauhaus design movement. Plastic, for example, wood, iron, textile, glass, and leather. Okay, all the material that could be used for mass production were lightweight and could be handled by machinery. Okay, and other characteristics, minimalist. Okay, you can see later, I will provide some examples. Okay, lines, smooth, gentle lines and shapes. Okay, geometrical. Okay, if you remember the images before the buildings, they're very geometrical. Okay, anti-ornament, industrial look, and use modern materials, plastic, chrome, and other metals. Okay, monochromatic and abstract. So these are the characteristics of Bauhaus. Okay, for example, this is one of the design inspired by Bauhaus. Okay, next we have this table and chair as well. Okay, this is visualized as Bauhaus design. Okay, you can see the chairs, the table, even the curtains, the layout, everything. Okay, emphasize on minimalist. Okay, this is some of the Bauhaus examples. Okay, we will have more at the end of the slides. All right, the key figures. The first one is the Paul Klee, Joseph Albers, Wassily Kandinsky, and then Laszlo Moholy-Nagy. Okay, the first one, Paul Klee. This artist said, art does not reproduce the visible, rather it makes visible. influenced both his contemporaries and his surrealist genre. Okay, Gropius invited Klee to teach there in 1920. Kandinsky followed in 1922. Klee and Kandinsky's lesson helped formalize the tenets of abstract art and modern design. Klee's description of drawing as a line going for a walk, for instance, epitomized his signature approach to art making, one that animated the elements of art with movement, spontaneity, and even an element of magic. Okay, this is one of his masterpiece. Okay, Fire at Full Moon, 1933. Okay, was held in the EY exhibition, London. Okay, next we have Joseph Albers. Okay, is best known for his seminal Homage to the Square series of 1950s and 60s, which focused on the simplification of form and the interplay of shape and color. Okay, abstraction is real, probably more real than nature, he once said. And Albers was highly influential as a teacher, first at the Bauhaus in Germany alongside Wassily Kandinsky and Paul Klee, and later with both at Black Mountain College, Yale, and Harvard. He taught courses in design and color theory and counted among his students such as iconic artists, for example. Okay, one of his masterpiece, SP in 1967. Okay, you can see the colors used, okay, the arrangement. It has the Bauhaus influence. Okay, then we have Wassily Kandinsky. Okay, after returning to Germany, Kandinsky accepts an invitation of Walter Gropius, the founder of the well-known Bauhaus, and he and Nina moved to Weimar, where Kandinsky headed a fresco workshop. He again thought and developed the ideas. Okay, Kandinsky's works again underwent changes. Individual geometrical elements increasingly entered the foreground. His palette was sated with cold colors harmonies, which at times are perceived as a dissonance. The circle is used differently as a sensual symbol of perfect form. Okay, the main work of the Weimar period. Okay, so this is one of his masterpieces in 1923. Okay, next we have Laszlo Moholy-Nagy. Okay, in March 1923, Walter Gropius appointed him as a master at the Bauhaus Weimar. Okay, here his work centered on typographic design and experimental film. From 1923 to 1925, Moholy-Nagy was the director of the preliminary course and head of the metal workshop in Weimar. Okay, from 1925 to 1928, he resumed the same post in Dessau. Together with Walter Gropius, Moholy-Nagy began to publish the series of Bauhaus books. Okay, this is one of his masterpieces, okay, by Laszlo Moholy-Nagy, 1923. All right, so in summary, the characteristic of Bauhaus architecture or design, okay, functional shapes, simple color schemes, industrial materials, balanced asymmetry, and holistic design. Okay, so functional shapes features little to no embellishment or ornamentation, instead drawing attention to the streamlined design. For example, many Bauhaus buildings have flat roof to create simple geometric looks. Okay, for example, we have here Bauhaus campus in Dessau, Germany. Okay, you can see the roof. You know, it's very flat. It's not that ornamented. Okay, then we have simple color schemes. Aims for cohesion and simplicity. So architectural color schemes are often limited to basic industrial colors like white, gray, and beige. In interior design, primary colors are often used, tones of red, yellow, or blue. Okay, you can see here, for example, this is in Deso. Okay, you can see the colors used here. Okay, and then we have industrial materials. Okay, in most often tries to incorporate the fewest different materials possible, all of which are considered industrial, modern materials. Okay, these materials include glass, concrete, okay, and steel, for example. Okay, here, for example, glass cubes in 1938. Okay, then we have balanced asymmetry. Work to unite and balance buildings and rooms by incorporating the same elements throughout, okay, without making both sides the same. Okay, so for example, this is Bauhaus architecture in Tel Aviv, or known as the White City. So you can Google this and see more explanation about this building. And finally, the holistic design. Among the essential tenets of Bauhaus design is integrating the school's techniques into every element of life, including city design, streets, corners, building architecture, furniture design, appliances, eating utensils, and typography. Okay, so these are some of the modern designs inspired or influenced by Bauhaus. Okay, this is air purifier concept, okay, by Kirim Lee. Okay, very new design, air purifier. So you can see the color used, you know, the shape, everything, okay, reflects the Bauhaus design. Okay, then we have fashion accessories. Okay, for example, this one, the bangles, for example, see the colors used, you know, the shapes. Okay, we also have textiles. Okay, again, see the colors used, okay, the arrangement, the lines. We also have ceramic, okay, the teapot, okay, the teacup, everything, the tray, even the tray, for example, okay, the color used, okay, the form, the pattern, everything. Okay, so that's all for Bauhaus. Thank you very much, everyone.